imagine you are running a business in a country and the government says that you can't have too much of foreign ownership, but you don't follow the rules. What happens? You might get investigated and fined, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to BBC in India. India's Enforcement Directorate, the agency that looks into financial crimes, recently fined the BBC 3,14,510 euros. That is about 3.3 crore rupees for breaking India's foreign exchange rule. The ED is a powerful agency in India that makes sure that companies follow rules related to money transactions between India and other countries. This issue started back in April 2023 when the ED began investigating the BBC under the Foreign Exchange Management Act. This happened just 2 months after tax authorities raided the BBC's office in Delhi and Mumbai in February 2023. The ED has the power to investigate, fine, and take legal action against companies that break foreign exchange rules. Let me tell you, what rule did the BBC break first? The Indian government has a rule that says that foreign companies cannot own more than 26% of certain type of media businesses in India. But the BBC, which set up a really new company for its Indian language services in December 2023, was found to have more foreign ownership than it was allowed. Because of this, the Indian government sent the BBC a show cause notice asking why they had not followed the rule. When the BBC could not fix the issue, the ED imposed a fine. Not only was the BBC fined 3,14,510 euros, but 3 of its directors were also personally fined, and that too 1,04,836 euros each, about 1.1 crore rupees. The violation dates back to October 15, 2021, as I told you, which means that BBC was breaking the rules for a long term before the investigation began. And that's why, along with the main fine, the company also had to pay a daily penalty for each day since that particular day. Right now, the BBC says that they haven't officially received the final order from the Indian government though. They said in a statement, "We will carefully review any order when it is received and consider next step as appropriate." The second question, why was the BBC raided in 2023? This particular case is also linked to something that happened in early 2023. In Feb that particular year, Indian tax authorities raided the BBC's office in Delhi and Mumbai. This happened just weeks after the BBC released a documentary about Indian Prime Minister and his role in 2002 Gujarat riots. The documentary was banned in India and called propaganda by the Indian government. Social media platforms like Twitter and YouTube were ordered to block any clip from the documentary, and also links to the film were removed online in India. And this caused a big issue. Now, this situation has raised question about how foreign media companies operate in India. Some see this as India enforcing its financial law, while others believe that it is connected to BBC's critical reporting on Indian government. At the end of the day, BBC now faces a huge financial penalty, and also it is true that BBC actually broke the law, no matter if they created the documentary or not. The company have to decide its next step very carefully. Whether they challenge the fine in the court or try to settle the issue remains to be seen.